Hello and welcome. In this video I will explain you these four components and how they work, how they modify the building in PlanPal. For that I will use one of the earlier version what we created, let's say the boundary building complex. And we will use this building to generate first of all some windows, but for this window first we need to generate our facades, which basically we already have facades. As you can see here we have buildings, these are the facades, but these components actually calculates the facade. So visually it doesn't do anything new, it's just another calculation. But this is a necessary step before we can create windows. You don't even need its preview, just connect it to the window component. As you can see now we have windows on the units, and we have some input parameters how we want to see the windows. So the parapet height, the window width, and the window minimum distance. From this information, PlanPal will try to arrange and distribute the windows on the buildings. If we go back to the Get Building Facades, we have another input surrounding building mass, which means we can model buildings next to our site, and if we reference it here as a BREP, then it will recalculate which facades can be used for windows. Because obviously if we have a building, for example right here, it's just a random planar surface, it's just a random box right now, but for the example it will be great. Yes, a BREP, and use it here, and all the windows will be removed from that side of the building. Yes, as you can see there is no windows over there because we have a neighbor. Next we have this building envelope component that can cut down a building with a given building envelope geometry. This can be a local regulation sometimes. For that we need a building, of course, and also I will just turn off this visualization and turn on this. And of course we need a BREP, that is the regulation or the max envelope. I created a small algorithm to generate one of these building envelope for this example, and as you can see our building is barely but out of this envelope. So let's simply put this BREP here and see how this component cuts down our buildings inside this envelope. And now you can see that our building is inside the envelope, and also we can of course visualize it again to see our buildings with the cutted roof. And we have two other inputs, the minimum height. This means that when we use these cuts, sometimes the unit will have some area where it's not high enough to be a proper area for units. So we can set a minimum height. By default this is 1.9 meters. But let's see if we change our building envelope to have a little bit more deep cut. Yes, as you can see now, the building envelope is much lower, so our units has a much steeper cut. So let's see how this will change if we turn the cut value true, because this will cut out the part of the unit which is lower than the minimum height of the building, and obviously it's almost, yeah, it's basically the unit height is 0 in this part, and maybe a terrace would be a much better solution for this situation that can be reached with this cut input. And now you can see every part of the unit which is lower than the minimum height, which is 1.9 meter, were cut out from the building. And now we have these terraces, and we still comply the regulation from this building envelope. If you use this component, which basically changes our building mass overall, then we need to use this recalculate building mass component, because I can show you what's the problem with one of the deconstruct component. We have this deconstruct building component with what we can see a lot of information about our building. So as you can see, one of them is the building mass somewhere here. Yes, these are B reps, and as you can see, the building mass is not the same as the building we can see here, which is a problem, and this is why we need to use this recalculate building mass component, because the building mass is used to calculate the windows. So I will show you how we can create this algorithm correctly. So now we recalculated the building mass. If we deconstruct again, now we can see our building mass is correct. It's the cut down part calculated as well, so now we just don't need this anymore. And this whole window and neighbor surrounding buildings building mass part is the after this recalculation. Yes, and now we have the windows, and the windows are only in the correct position, and still the surrounding building mass is calculated, so windows are not there. And yes, that's all basically. We can use, yes, the visualize here as well. Thank you for watching. In the next video I will explain this unit union components. It will be a short, simple video.